Welcome, everyone, to Assassin's Creed 3, and press up and F2 to open Uplay. Okay, thanks Uplay. Trying to do an intro here. Nonetheless, my name is HJ Tenchi, and finally, we're going to get some Assassin's Creed 3 in. If it hasn't been one problem, it's been another. So as you can see right here, I'm actually an hour and a half into the game. Unfortunately, now that it's finally not crashing constantly, I ran into, when I rendered this last one and then deleted the original file, the render came out so dark I couldn't fix it, so I get to start it again. We already do have 2 or 3 episodes recorded, but I do need to redo this first one, so hopefully you don't mind coming along once again.
When people talked about the end of the world,
Assassin's
we
Creed.
locked them up, or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars, as the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years, even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching. Bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon, though, soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be. When it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end.
All right. Trust me, for someone that's played almost 2 hours of the game, this game should be and will be quite fun and interesting. Little late to the game, unfortunately, because of all the issues I've been having, hardware, software, and my own stupidity. But, well, should all be sorted out now, and should be pretty dang fun. This is on the PC, for those of you that haven't figured that out yet. I guess it'd be hard to tell because I'm actually using a controller, so unless you've played the console version, you'll not realize that the graphics are way better on this. And I do have them maxed out, running at 920 by 1080 and also recording at 1080. So
Let's go.
that should prevent most of the questions, I guess. Anyways, this will be my first Assassin's Creed. In all the series, this will be the first one I've actually played. My good buddy Rupinder has played every single one, and I think platinumed all of them, or got 1,000 gamer points depending on which one he played, and he's told me about him, so I should know at least enough to hopefully make it interesting when I'm not yammering about random stuff.
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
I find it interesting that that's the second Ubisoft game released within a month that started a game with that. Far Cry 3 also starts with that. Not voice acted, but nonetheless, the quote is there. Alright. Super long hallway. And yet it warps us through it. Thank you, Ubisoft. Appreciate it. Do not want to walk down that. Also, the Desmond Miles model seems to be different than what it was in the last game. He seems more realistic. Kind of the receding hair, kind of more gaunt face.
We're here.
And this is the first time I've actually met his dad. His dad looks badass. Whoop! Oh no! Our light stick! No! Ooh, separate physics. Very nice. Now to enter the Halo Forge up here. For whatever reason, this area just really reminds me of a Halo level. Not sure why. It's the architecture for some reason. See what I mean? I mean, to me, it looks like a multiplayer level. I forget which one I think it is, but I don't know. I haven't played Halo enough to remember the names. Either way, this is going to be quite a badass little base here. And I'm willing to bet it's going to be a little bit more secure than the, warehouse or wherever we were at the first time.
Key. You must find the key.
Son?
Sir.
That's not good.
Here we go again.
Desmond?
Oop.
Do you hear us?
Yeah. What happened?
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
That doesn't sound good.
So naturally, you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection.
Of course.
At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for, by the way. It's a key. Just no idea where it is, though. I guess that's why she triggered the bleeding effect.
She?
Juno,
Sorry.
Dad. She's
I'm not sorry.
talking to
He
me.
dances amazingly. Hi, game. Let me dance.
Okay, Desmond. While
Fine
you were,
tutorials.
Visiting Constantinople, we picked up a software update for the Animus. I'd like to run a couple of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
Alrighty.
All right. What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple. Walk to the marker over there.
Nice thing about a lot of the games, whether it's this series or other games that are similar to this with the parkour
Okay, Desmond. Let's practice climbing. on
aspects,
these
I guess is
objects.
one way of saying it, is that it empowers the player. No matter what your skill level is in the game, all I'm holding is right trigger and pushing the left joystick forward. Well, I'm now just a little to the left, and it makes it look like I am just the master of all games. Yep, said it. Amazing. And then the nice thing too is for the people watching, hopefully, you know, it's more entertaining than
Free run your way through this
me
little
slamming the
course.
joystick around multiple times trying to find a way to get up properly. So that, I guess the short story of it is that I thought it's really nice that they implement that. Uncharted has it, and a lot of
That's
other
a
games as well.
constraint. These are optional objectives that raise your synchronization rate. All right, Desmond, follow the on-screen instructions and kill the 2 Templars.
Ooh. Ouch. Oh! But oh. Can we still do it?
All you have to do here is jump the gap.
Oh, messed that up. Out of all the times, this is the 4th time trying to get this recorded properly, and I messed that up. And this is probably the one that's going to work out properly. Well, eh. do 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 do. Nice thing is this time at least my controller's working at 100% capability as well. The lockpick scene that we'll have to do eventually up here, probably in the next 6 minutes, I couldn't do because my joystick didn't go in that direction.
Synchronization levels look good now. We should be able to
So,
build the world.
that was pretty
Time to
bad.
find out what the temple wants from you.
Also, by the way, look at this guy. This guy is awesome looking. Oh, they still gave us a full sync. Thanks, game. Yeah, the nice thing about this game, especially on the PC, is it does look amazing. And although less of a big deal for me nowadays, I still do appreciate it.
Yes, fine. I'm just preoccupied, that's all.
Don't forget your invitation. Master Birch will be meeting you inside.
Thank you.
Where shall I retrieve you once you're done?
Front of the Opera House. And be quick about it. Don't expect to be here long.
I'll bring her round at once.
I find it pretty impressive that he, you know, after that first initial reaction, he jumps into the character pretty damn well. Or is Desmond not necessarily saying this, and he's just... Because it's actually him doing the stuff,
Invitation, please.
And
Shall I take your coat, sir?
that's badass, by the way. If I did that, they'd just stop me and be like, dude, seriously? Get the hell out of our theater. No one knows who you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are requested to kindly find...
I'm surprised it jumped right past that, huh? Animus database... Locations... Alright, I will be going through and reading it. I won't have to go through it manually like this. I can just hit start usually and it'll pull it up. But I will go over quickly when new information pops up. It doesn't happen too often, and usually it's actually informative or at least funny. The Theatre Royale. You might hear this referred to as the Covent Garden, which it faces, or the Royal Opera House, which it later became. However, this is the original Theatre Royale building. Opened in 1732, destroyed by fire in 1808. It will be rebuilt, then destroyed by fire again in 1857, and then almost completely renovated in the 1990s. They've installed a smoke detector this time. The original theater lineup was varied, containing ballet, operas, even acrobatics. Many of Handel's operas opened here, right up until his death in 1759, when he mysteriously stopped writing them. Okay, I didn't say they were really funny. They're slight, haha, maybe not a... Anyways, but the building was mainly used for presenting plays, at least for the first 100 years of its history. The reason? It held the exclusive rights to perform spoken drama in London, awarded by King Charles II. Yes, kings could do that, though why they would is beyond me. Okay, we can do a little fast walk. Thanks, buddy. We see the gigantic glowing green
Good
thing
evening,
that no one
sir.
else seems
This
to
way,
see.
please.
It just does, huh? Okay. Oh, thanks, buddy.
My apologies.
The guy's trying to look around us, dude. We're just like in front of you for like 2 seconds. Calm down. Also, the powdered wigs. Don't know about those powdered wigs there, gentlemen.
Evening, Hatham.
Reginald?
I can't tell you how happy I was to hear they'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Once. My father brought me here as a child. Though I remember little of it. I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
No, I'm afraid it won't. On to business then. Do you see him?
Alright. I apologize about that. Wanted to make sure the recording looked okay this time. Oh, locate the gold target.
Like me too, he acts in a double capacity, both against roads and for them.
He's seated in one of the boxes above.
The stairs are watched. You'll need to find another way
So
out.
cool. Scheming.
I really have.
What a real...
As the wench is very active and
couldn't find any other way. You can't, like, I don't know, bat hook shot up there, or... No? We're gonna do what we're gonna do, huh? Alright.
Pardons. My apologies.
So awesome. No, sir, you can sit down. Wait. It gave us the option to whistle. Never noticed that before. I don't know what we were gonna do with, but nonetheless. Alright, back to business. Focus, Tenchi. Focus! And by the way, no one notices this? I mean, I know there's like a slight rise there, so... But, I don't know. And I know they're not paying attention. Kind of wish... I wonder how much of the play is actually here. It'd be fun to actually watch it, I think. Oop, that guy's falling asleep. No wonder, he can't see anything. He's behind the curtain. That sucks, dude. Oop, and they're drinking. Alright, well there you go. Pretty cool. Alright. Now here's our infamous pick lock scene. Yes, could not do this the first time. It was sad. There we go. Whoop. There we go. Whoa! This just doesn't seem like the best way to go, guys. Oh well. No, that's all you're gonna say. Beggar's Opera. Alrighty. The Beggar's Opera opened in London in 1728. It's a musical, one of the earliest ever created. It was written by John Gay, a writer and a friend of both Alexander Pope and Jonathan Swift, two of the prominent literary figures of the day. The opera was both popular and controversial. Popular, partly because it was an excellent skewering of Italian opera, which was very popular at the time. However, instead of complicated Italian songs, the Beggar's Opera featured folk tunes that the audience could recognize, meaning you could hum along even if you didn't know Italian. It was controversial because of the subject matter. It's set in the Newgate prison, and the main characters are all criminals, who act much like the upper classes. It was a send-up of the British nobility, including veiled criticism of the head of government, neither of whom traditionally have a sense of humor. I've never met a queen who liked a knock-knock joke. Well, actually, I've never met a queen. The Beggar's Opera was accused of being a base form of entertainment and, because its main characters were criminals, accused of causing increase in crime. It's nice to see that criticism isn't just for movies and video games. Bloody opera, corrupting our kids. Also, we missed... I feel like I'm rushing it a little bit this time. I apologize. We missed Reginald Birch. Reginald Birch was a London merchant, the son of another London merchant, who, conveniently enough, also had the same last name. It seems it was one of those hard-to-put-your-finger-on things that ran in the family. Birch started in business for himself at an early age. By the time he was in his mid-20s, he already owned several merchant ships, mainly dealing with the tea trade to the American colonies. That's pretty good going, seeing as by the time most people are in their mid-20s, they don't even own a shirt. I have him as part owner of the Providence, among others. Later in life, Birch also owned several businesses in and around London. He was a member of White's, which was a posh gentleman's club in London, and generally a well-known and respected man about town. For what I can tell, Birch met Hatham Kenway while working for his father, Edward. They were introduced at White's while Hatham was quite young. Birch would eventually take over Hatham's education, tutoring him while on a tour of Europe in the 1730s. From what we've seen in The Animus, it seems their friendship continued into adulthood, with them working together as members of the Assassins. And while we're here, Altair was born into the Assassin's Brotherhood in the stronghold of Masyaf.